Have you ever paused to question how technology impacts your psyche? In this era of rapid technological advancement, technology has become as ubiquitous as the air we breathe. It's in our homes, our pockets, even woven into the fabric of our cities. Its presence is as constant as the ticking of a clock, as persistent as the rhythm of our own heartbeats. And yet, it's easy to forget that this hasn't always been the case. There was a time when the world was devoid of screens, devoid of the constant hum of digital communication. Today we find ourselves in a world where technology has not only become an integral part of our lives, but also an extension of ourselves. In this digital age, technology is our constant companion. It wakes us up in the morning, guides us through our day, and even lulls us to sleep at night. We rely on it to connect us with others, to entertain us, to inform us, and to guide us. In many ways, technology has become a second skin, a digital layer that we don to navigate our ever-evolving world. But what effect does this have on our psyche? How does this digital skin shape our perceptions, our emotions, our thoughts? How does it impact our relationships with others, with ourselves, with the world around us? It's a complex question and one that we don't fully understand. But as we stand on the precipice of a new technological era, it's a question we can no longer afford to ignore. For better or worse, technology is reshaping our world and our minds. It's transforming how we communicate, how we work, how we play, and how we think. It's altering our perceptions of reality, our sense of self, and our understanding of what it means to be human. And yet, for all its promise and potential, technology also brings with it a host of challenges and concerns. It's a double-edged sword, capable of both great good and great harm. As we delve deeper into this topic, prepare to question your own relationship with technology. Imagine a world untouched by the hands of technology. How did our minds operate then? In the pre-technological era, the human psyche functioned quite differently from how it does now. Our minds were more in tune with the natural world, more grounded in the physical and tactile, and less cluttered with the incessant noise of information. Let's start with memory. Before the advent of technology, our brains were our primary information storage. We had to remember important dates, directions, recipes, and so much more. This reliance on memory not only exercised our minds but also made us more attentive and mindful of our surroundings. It was a time when forgetting your friend's birthday was unheard of, simply because you had no choice but to remember. Moving on to physical interaction, life was a lot more hands-on. Communication was face-to-face, and relationships were nurtured through physical presence and verbal conversations. The human connection was more tangible, more authentic. The thrill of receiving a handwritten letter in the mail, the joy of a surprise visit from a friend, the satisfaction of a good heart-to-heart talk. These were the norm, and not the exception. And then there was our relationship with nature. With no screens to distract us, we spent more time outdoors, observing the natural world, feeling the soil under our feet, the wind in our hair. This connection with nature nourished our souls and kept us grounded. Life was simpler, calmer. We had time to reflect, to ponder, to dream. Our minds were not constantly bombarded with information from every conceivable direction. We had the space to think, to create, to imagine. However, it's important to remember that this era was not without its challenges. Life was harder in many ways, and the lack of technology often meant more physical labor and less leisure time. But in terms of our mental well-being, there's no denying the peace and simplicity that characterized the pre-technological psyche. The pre-technological psyche thrived on simplicity and physical interaction, a stark contrast to today's tech-driven world. Fast forward to today, our minds are constantly bombarded with information, thanks to technology. The once tranquil landscapes of our psyche have become bustling metropolises of data, noise, and ceaseless activity. The advent of technology has brought with it a torrent of change, reshaping our mental landscapes in ways we are only beginning to understand. Imagine for a moment a time before this technological revolution, a time when our minds were not overwhelmed by a ceaseless torrent of information. Now contrast that with today's reality. Our minds are like supercomputers, processing vast amounts of data every second. But unlike computers, we are not equipped with unlimited storage or processing power. This information overload can lead to cognitive fatigue, reduced productivity, and even burnout. And then, there's the issue of digital addiction. We've all seen it, haven't we? The person who can't put down their phone, the kid who spends hours on end playing video games, the adult who can't disconnect from work emails. Technology, in its many forms, has created a new breed of addiction. It's a craving for connection, for information, for that next dopamine hit. This addiction, coupled with the incessant demand for our attention, has led to a decrease in our attention spans. We're constantly switching between tasks, between screens, between realities. Our minds are in a state of perpetual motion, never resting, never fully engaging with the world around us. And let's not forget the rise in anxiety and depression rates. There's a growing body of evidence suggesting a correlation between increased screen time and higher levels of anxiety and depression. We're more connected than ever, yet we feel more isolated, more anxious, more alone. With the advent of technology, our minds have been reshaped, leading to a drastic shift in our mental landscape. We're living in an age of unprecedented change, and our psyches are bearing the brunt of it. But remember, understanding the problem is the first step towards finding a solution. So let's continue this journey together, exploring the complexities of our tech-influenced psyche. Technology, a boon or a bane, depends on how we wield it. In the shining light of progress, technology has forged paths into the vast expanse of human potential. It has, without a doubt, enhanced our lives in ways we'd never imagined. The benefits to our psyche are numerous. Let's explore a few. Firstly, we've been granted unprecedented access to information. No longer are we limited to the knowledge in our immediate surroundings. The world is literally at our fingertips. We can learn, explore, and grow, all from the comfort of our homes, expanding our minds and broadening our horizons. Secondly, technology has revolutionized communication. We can connect with others regardless of geographical boundaries. This global connection has the power to foster empathy, understanding, and unity, breaking down barriers and bridging gaps that once seemed insurmountable. Additionally, technology has birthed innovative mental health resources. Teletherapy, meditation apps, and online support groups have made mental health care more accessible and less stigmatized. These tools have the potential to lessen the burden of mental illness and create a society more attuned to psychological well-being. But as we revel in the glow of these advancements, we must also acknowledge the shadow they cast. The same technology that connects us can also isolate us, reducing meaningful human interaction to mere digital exchanges. The wealth of information available can become overwhelming, leading to stress and mental fatigue. And while online mental health resources are a boon, they can never fully replace the nuanced understanding and support offered in face-to-face therapy. It's a double-edged sword. The same tool that has the power to enhance our lives can also detract from them if not used judiciously. The key lies in balance. We must learn to harness the benefits of technology while minimizing its adverse impacts. The power of technology lies in our hands, and with it comes the responsibility to use it judiciously. Let us wield this sword with wisdom, for in doing so, we shape not only our individual psyches but also the collective psyche of humanity. The question remains, how can we navigate this tech-saturated world without compromising our mental health? Let's dive into this. It's crucial to remember that technology, like any tool, is as beneficial or detrimental as how we use it. The key is to find a balance, to harness the conveniences of our digital age without letting it overtake our mental well-being. Here are a few practical steps to consider. Consider introducing digital detox days into your routine. This could be a day or even just a few hours where you intentionally step away from screens. Instead, engage in activities that ground you in the physical world, like reading a book, going for a walk, or picking up a hobby. This not only gives your mind a break from the constant digital stimuli, but also creates space for you to reconnect with the world around you. Setting screen time limits is another effective strategy. Many devices come with built-in features that allow you to track and limit your usage. Aim to gradually reduce your screen time. You might be surprised at how much time you reclaim, time you can devote to more fulfilling activities. Prioritizing physical interactions is another vital step. While technology offers convenient ways to connect, nothing beats the depth and richness of face-to-face conversations. Make it a point to spend quality time with loved ones, to have meaningful conversations that go beyond the confines of a text message. And finally, practice mindful usage of technology. Before you reach for your phone or open a new browser tab, pause and ask yourself, is this necessary? Will this add value to my life? Or is it just a mindless habit? By being intentional with our technology use, we can prevent it from becoming a mindless, time-consuming habit. Remember, your mental health matters. Strive to strike a balance between embracing technology and preserving your peace of mind.